We're thriving without you. Building a future just like I said we would.
Building it for who? For Carl?
You don't speak his name.
Your family's gone, Rick.
In Season 9 of The Walking Dead, Rick Grimes oversees the reconstruction of a vital bridge, whilst also managing growing internal tensions within the community. These tensions are regarding the integration of the remaining saviors after Rick's group had deposed and imprisoned their leader, Negan. Rick then confronts Negan, who is imprisoned in Alexandria, where he expresses disdain for Rick's leadership efforts, suggesting that he is paving the way for his return to power. This tense scene is filled with interesting bits of nonverbal communication. So let's take a look.
It was a hard day. Hardest we've had in a while. A man lost his arm. Projects behind schedule. People were at each other's throats. Thing is, though, bad as it was, when the day was done, they came together. Not all of them, but enough. They chose to be together. You see what I'm getting at? No matter what happens, it's human nature to come together.
Rick distances himself when he recalls a man losing his arm. He does this as thinking about what happened causes him stress, so his brain forces him to look away, as a method of calming himself down. This shows that he genuinely cares about his people, as he's able to empathize with the person. He then expresses a long exhale when talking of tensions, also tensing his mouth at the same time. These are all effects of elevated stress levels, causing Rick to pacify in an attempt to calm himself down. The internal conflicts within the community deeply affect Rick, and again he's genuinely concerned for the people's welfare. He's also got a slight head tilt here, which is a method of sound localization. We evolved to do this as when we're hyper-focusing on something, tilting the head assists in detecting the exact direction and bearing the sound came from, as you have both directional and vertical senses. The brain measures the tiny gap between sound waves entering the ears to calculate its direction.
That's just what we do.
That's a real pretty picture you paint there, Rick. When do I get to see it?
Never. You can die behind these bars. You know that.
Well then, don't I get some kind of final request? Why don't you bring me...
Don't you ever get tired of acting like you're still in charge?
Do you? You think just 'cause they had a little weenie roast that you got all this on lock? When it finally goes to shit, and it will, you make sure you come back and you tell me all about that day too.
We're thriving without you.
Rick then distances when Negan's trying to control him. He's angered that Negan would even dare given his circumstances. Rick spared his life and Negan's response angers him, which in turn creates elevated stress levels, causing him to try and protect himself by again looking away and also tensing his face. He's reacting with anger to what Negan's saying, but he's trying his best to maintain composure by forcing his non-verbal communication, keeping it in check. However, this will always fail as the effects of stress will always find ways to manifest themselves.
Building a future just like I said we would.
Building it for who? For Carl?
You don't speak his name.
Your family's gone, Rick. Same as mine. The bridge. It's not the future. It's a monument to the dead. You're not saving the world, Ray. You're just getting it ready for me.
Rick is maintaining strong eye contact with Negan here. He's trying to assert dominance over him despite being emotionally affected by him. Then when Negan says Carl's name, Rick gives off a micro expression of facial tension, which is a slippage of his genuine body language, coming through when his conscious mind fails to suppress it. He's again trying desperately to maintain his composure to appear as if he's in control. However, when Negan gets up, this all changes. Despite being locked behind bars, Negan still scares Rick. Rick immediately opens his mouth here, which is the defense mechanism taking hold of him. When we get stressed and fear for our safety, the defense mechanism forces us to open our mouths in order to gain as much oxygen as possible needed to fill his blood to power the muscles. This would also be paired with an increased heart rate. Overall, this scene is awesome and shows that Negan still scares Rick and that Rick is also willing to face Negan down when required. It's a really detailed scene and amazing acting from everyone involved. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.